From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big morning on Mornings LALATE as the shocker of a week ends, but a big week begins. We'll go over the latest details when Jay Powell shocked the markets and they crashed 1,000 points on Friday. But why did you and I know it was going to happen? Well, the latest details across the board. Earnings recession, more companies missing on their second quarter earnings reports, and also downward guiding for the rest of the year. Well, the latest details across the board in tonight's recording, this morning's recording. New stimulus checks becoming law. A wonderful cluster of 100 to 200 more stimulus checks in every U.S. state, plus the lifetime stimulus on top of that. Wow. Well, the latest impact on your raise of your benefits, huge lift, biggest of a generation, especially in view of those comments from Jay Powell across the board. Labor, unemployment claims relatively flat, but could they go higher today? Not today, this week. And then what about your benefit raise? Wow, looking really good. As that personal consumption expenditure index released on Friday, retail sales released early in the week. So a lot of data. We'll go over the latest details on whether inflation has peaked, whether it has not. We'll look at the big data you need to know across the board in today's recording. Plus, the excitement of forced stimulus. Now 100 to 200 checks in every U.S. state. We're going to go over how to get that money, but step one, go out of the video, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. Get that membership newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And be like the thousands of other viewers who have gotten these big checks, forced stimulus checks in every U.S. state. And boy, it's exciting because it was less than 2 weeks ago we had 3 categories of checks, A, B, and C on this channel. Then a week ago today, special broadcast, special report, when they passed checks C through K, Congress. Then this last week, 2 new categories of checks on top of that. Now 12 categories of checks, yielding 100, 200 checks to viewers of this channel for stimulus. Oh boy, it's getting real exciting. Plus, you'll be in a new character on this channel, Wubba and his wife, Mubba. Wubba and his wife, Mubba, in today's recording. Oh boy, we're going to have a lot of fun and a lot of humor. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, it's just getting started. A big day. The latest details, the toast is toasting and the butter is buttering. It's Mornings LALATE, starting right now. And good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful day for August 28th of 2022 from the shores of Santa Monica, California. Boy, we got a big week ahead of us, and we end a very big week when Jay Powell made that announcement that you and I knew was going to say, but the stock market crashing 1,000 points. We'll go over the latest details of what we're going to see this week as well. The stocks, the corporations reporting the second quarter earnings and missing and downward guiding for the rest of this year. Oh my goodness. We'll have the latest details on their story and why it impacts your wallet. Unemployment stopping, falling, rising. What's going on with those unemployment claims? We'll have the latest details, of course, in this recording. Your benefit raise, what you need to know with your benefit raise and what's happening with those numbers. My goodness. Lifetime stimulus, and we'll have the latest details across the board. And of course, say the big second half, become a member. We'll go over those huge forced stimulus checks. Now 100 to 200 checks in every U.S. state is forced stimulus. It's federal stimulus. And we start first with the breaking news of Jay Powell and that speech at Jackson Hole. Going into this week, we knew that Jay Powell was going to announce pervasive interest rate spikes September and thereafter to get inflation down. And when we heard it, we knew it was going to happen. Wall Street, however, was shocked. Why? Over the last 3 weeks, we had the Fed governors under Jay Powell, Bullard, Daley, Michelle Bowman, saying we're going to stay with those interest rate spikes until we get inflation to a target of 2%. It's 8.5% right now. How quickly does it drop to 2%? Not quickly at all. They've been trying to get it down since the month of January, and it only fallen a half a percentage point since then. So they're going to stay with those interest rate spikes over the last 2 weeks. I said the Fed governors are going to have interest rate spikes every month until December, at least until they get 2%, and stay with it until it's at 2% for a while. How could I say that? Because Michelle Bowman said it. It was very obvious. She said we need to get down to 2% and stay there for a while until we stop with the interest rate spikes. And she said we're going to stay with where we had them in the last 2 meetings, 75 basis points. So all I'm doing is basically repeating what she said. It's pretty simple, isn't it? Except when Wall Street comes around. Wall Street the last 2 weeks said the Fed governors are going to pivot, stop what they're doing. Why? Stop interest rate spikes. What? And leave inflation at 8%. Excuse me. Excuse me. What fake narrative are you from? How's Mars doing? Because you're out of this country. You're talking out of the planets. You're out of this world with those crazy comments. Of course, a week ago today, what did I say? Until Wall Street wakes up, the stock market is going to crash because they've not embedded the risk of more interest rate spikes starting in September into the markets. It's dangerous. And Wall Street's going to crash based upon the likelihood that they've not understood what exactly the Fed governors have said out of their mouths. And that's what happened. On Monday, Wall Street saw a crash of 650 points. Tuesday, down 150 points. And Friday, down 1,000 points. We knew this was going to happen. We've discussed this on the channel. Until Wall Street wakes up and hears what the Fed governors have said, they're going to crash. And that's what happened on Friday when Jay Powell spoke at Jackson Hole. And he said exactly 100% with the exception of the 75 basis point, as you and I knew he was going to say. We said he was going to say target of 2% inflation. He said it. We said on this channel, he's going to say, we're going to stay with interest rate spikes till we get it to 2%. He said that as well. He said also that I'm going to make this loud and clear because you're not listening to me. He said that as well. Did he say the 75 basis point? He did not. But let's go over what he did say. First, he said that on top of all that, he also said that inflation is scary because it could become entrenched. What does the word entrenched mean? It basically means if you're paying for milk at $4 a gallon when it should be $2 a gallon like last year for you, then you'll believe that 4 gallons is your new normal and be happy to pay for it. And you're not going to be able to afford it because your salaries have not gone up and your benefits have not gone up. He says a big problem. That's number one. Number two, he also said, when you look at the situation, I need to be more blunt. I need to be more direct. And that's what his comment was. My message need to be more direct. Translation, you're not listening to me. Listen to me. And then he also said, we need to do this because these prices are out of control. They don't work for anyone. You can't pay $5 a gallon indefinitely for that milk. And he also said, finally, this important comment, we're going to do this until our job is done. Meaning they're going to do those interest rate spikes until they're done, 2%. And we have a long way to go from 8.5% to 2%. The other major story that happened later that day was the Personal Consumption Expenditure Index, PCE. We've been discussing that a while on this channel. I love the number. Why? It's an inflationary benchmark for inflation. I love it also because of when it's released. It's released between the CPI. That's once a month. You know what the CPI is, but we're going to go over in a second. And it was released on Friday, and I love what it said. Flat. Yes, this is really good. The CPI back on August 10th, flat. The PPI released the day after that, flat. The retail sales released just a few days ago, flat. And now the Personal Consumption Expenditure Index, great news, flat. If they're all flat or going higher, it's great news for what? Your benefits. My friends, this is lifetime stimulus. Let's use an example of that lifetime stimulus. Let's say your benefits are going up 10% this year. Well, let's say they're going up 10%. Well, that's not just this year, it's lifetime. This is lifetime stimulus because once your benefits go up, they never go down. And what data were we looking for? We were looking to see that this data is basically flat or higher because if it is, your benefits going up a lot. Some of you 5,000, some of you more, some of you less. We'll go over how much your benefits are going to go up a second, how it works, but this is you, SSI, SSDI, Social Security Rail benefits. This is grounds for a pear dance because inflation has not peaked with that headline number. Now let's go in the inflation calculation. Then we're going to go back to your benefits, and then we'll go over some of the analysis. We need to see 3 months of data. What do we see in July? The June data. The CPI beat, the PPI beat, the retail sales all beat. So what do we need to see thereafter? We also need to see the data for the month of July. Because why? Let's recap. In May, the CPI, how much you pay for milk and eggs, the consumer price index surged to the highest we've seen in a generation. Where was it? 8.6%. Ouch. June, that came in at a whopping, ready for this one? 9.1%. Oh my goodness. And so we understand your benefits are going up a lot. We need to see the July number released last week of August 10th. And what happened with that number? The headline number was basically flat. The headline number was basically flat. But if you look at the component parts, they're up month to month. The milk and eggs up month to month. The salaries basically up month to month, and the wages up month to month. The gasoline was down, and that's why the CPI headline number is down 0.5 percentage point. But what is going on with those numbers right now? Is anyone cutting wages? No. Is anyone giving you cheaper rent? No. Is the milk and eggs going down? No. And then what about the gasoline? It is going down. International price of Brent crude going up. International price of Brent crude is going up. Why? Less capacity, more demand. The domestic unleaded, how much you pay at the pump, is still going down, but it won't indefinitely. Now let's go back to what's going on for your benefits. Your benefits are tied to something called COLA, cost of living adjustment, which is determined by 3 months of one data point. The CPI, yes, there's that number again. CPI-W released for July. We got that August 10th. August released September 10th, and also the September number released October 10th. But in between that, we have this. It's great news. The Personal Consumption Expenditure Index. It's basically the CPI 2 weeks earlier, approximately. And what was it? Flat. Oh, yes, this is great news. Now, is there other data we can see before we have that CPI release in just a few weeks? Yes. The milk and eggs of the store, the salaries, the rent, and also the gasoline. What are we seeing so far? Flat, 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 flat. And international price of Brent crude higher, but gasoline at the pump slightly lower. Oh boy, we'll go over how much your benefits should go up with that data in just a second. But now let's go back to your benefits. Are your benefits going up? Yes, absolutely. How much? Largest of a generation, because inflation is the highest of a generation. Some of you more than 5,000, some of you at 5,000, some of you less than 5,000. Direct deposit, otherwise in the mail, absolutely. SSI, SSDI, Social Security Railroad benefits, on multiple benefits, about to go on benefits, it's all of you. 3 months of data defines it, July, August, and September. We got the July data last week. We can experience the other data right now. So what are we seeing across the board? Well, the Seniors League, a nonprofit organization that looked at the data for August 10th, that July data released August 10th, said, well, with that 8.5% print, we're projecting your benefits to go up by 10.1%. Am I agreeing or disagreeing? I think it's a little bit conservative. Because the component parts are all flat and the gasoline is going up. So I believe that's a little bit conservative. I think it's more. Jump to the live chat. Do you think it's conservative or do you think it's right on the money? And remember, we're looking at the rent and the salaries, flat, milk and eggs, about flat or going higher, and then the gasoline is tracking higher when you look at the international price of Brent crude. Well, this is great news. This is a lifetime stimulus because once your benefits go up, they never go down. And this is why you want to stay with this channel, because it's featured in the membership newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, via the YouTube alerts. The other great news we're working on today is that by becoming a member, you have it already in the membership newsletter, the 4 stimulus. There is now 12 categories of checks that yield $100,000 $100 to $200,000 across the board. 12 categories of checks that yield about 100 to 200,000 of money and about 100 to 200 checks. Wow. Let's go over the latest details across the board. Back in the month of March, 3 checks became law. And they are Check A, B, and C. They alone, Check A, B, and C, were about $100,000 passed by the President of the United States by executive action. Checks A, B, and C are about $100,000. Incredible. But they're not alone because we have 9 new categories of checks since then. Past the month of March, checks A, B, and C are huge. You qualify. Single individual, 75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, 150,000 less, go get it. If you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security or Rail benefits, go get it. How do you become a member? You go right on the video, join the channel. Become a Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Get this incredible newsletter Monday through Friday and get those 3 checks. Now, what happened a week ago today? A week ago today, Congress passed a bill, and that established 7 other checks, Check E through K. My goodness. And I'm not done with my dedication to you because this last week I found 2 new checks on top of that. They become L and M, and they're about $104,000 across the board for those sums of money. Just huge, just huge. And that is why you want to stay with this channel, because now through A through M, we have $100,000 to $200,000 of money. It's 12 categories of checks. It's 100 to 200 checks. It is from the federal government. It's not from your states. It's huge sums of money. You deserve these sums of money. And how do you get them? You join the channel. Become a Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Join LALATE 1, join LALATE 2, join LALATE 3, any of the 3 channels of this broadcasting family of networks, and you get that incredible newsletter. One of the benefits of getting the newsletter is the worksheets that are in the newsletter. Down around the 3rd line in the newsletter is the worksheets, and I have them in front of me right here. It's about 9 pages in a PDF. You can print out from your cell phone or computer, and we learned a lot about the items on those worksheets today. Inflation, recession, labor, and Federal Reserve on the page 1. So, inflation, wow. Inflation is pervasive. It's not coming down quickly from an 8.5% released on August 10th. Jay Powell making very clear we're going to have those interest rate spikes until it gets down. And Bowman making very clear those interest rate spikes must get it to 2% and stay at 2% for a few months until we stop doing those interest rate spikes. Big news for your benefits, because if inflation continues for 2 more months, which it is likely, then your benefits are going up the largest of a generation. Recession. In Afternoons LA today, I'll be going over the recession. We are definitely in recession, but some economists are trying to come out and say there is no recession based upon one data point. You don't get to do that. Labor. The jobless claims released this week were basically flat. We've seen those labor numbers hovering higher. They were 140 in the month of April. Then they came to 260 about 3 weeks ago. Then they came to 250, 243, 245. It's basically flat. But look how high it is compared to a month ago. It's up 100,000 new claims per week. Federal Reserve. I've been saying that Jay Powell and Co. will do 75 basis points in September through December. And will continue to do it till he gets inflation at 2%. That's just through at least December. We'll be analyzing that on Afternoons LA and the second half of this recording, provided we have time. The next page of the worksheet has been a big success story. It's your 4th stimulus. And now you have 12 categories of checks, 100 to 200 checks to apply for, and that's why you need a page for it. The only problem was I made the page when there was only 3 categories of checks. So you need to potentially print this out in multiple copies. Let's remember, Check A is 1 category, but really 1 check. Check B is 1 category, but upwards of 100 checks. Check C is 1 category, but nearly 100 checks. Check E through K are each 1 category and 1 check. Check L, 1 category and 1 check. And M, 1 category, but lots of checks. That's a lot of checks to apply for, yes. And that's why you got to keep track of what you're applying for. That's why you need the table. A week ago today, 1 viewer got 14 months of rent. A day before that, another viewer got 14 months of rent. Another viewer a day before that got 12 months of utility. Lynn Glenn, I think it's 12 months of utility. Congratulations, Lynn Glenn, and she also got some months of rent. A viewer out of Florida got 80 checks approximately from check B. Spelly got check A and also check C. And Dragon got over 143,000, I can report today for the first time on this channel. You want to keep track of that on this incredible second page. You want to keep track of those checks you applied for. That's what the viewer out of Florida did. She just didn't look at it. She got that message from the state of Florida. Ma'am, you've been approved for check B. Wow, great news. She just forgot that she applied for it. She went to her worksheet and she realized it was for mortgage. Whoa, that's a lot of money. 1 month of mortgage? No. 18 months of mortgage. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of money. But she forgot that she also applied for utilities. Let's say it's 4 months, 4 utility bills per month, plus the mortgage, that's 5 bills a month, times 18. 5 times 18, oh, whopper. That's 80 to 100 checks. Congratulations to her. But it's happening on a regular basis. On Afternoons LA, we'll go over this stimulus, gasoline, and what you need to know about those new pages in the worksheets. Incredible news. Now, why you want to become a member is because you want to get these incredible checks. 100 to 200 checks over 12 categories that yield enormous sums of money. Enormous sums of money. And that is why you want to get this. Let's make it very clear. You're not going to hear this anywhere else in broadcast or print media. They don't care about you. I care about you. You're not going to see this detail anywhere else. In fact, when the L&M were revealed, did anyone really cover them? No. Except merely one other place besides this channel as a print media. Did anyone cover checks E through K when they became law by Congress last weekend? One other place, and that was it, buried in there. I find them because I like needles and haystacks. No, because I care about you. I care about you to find these big sums of money because we're going to have 2 years of recession. 2 years of recession. Economic problems are not going away. And that's why Wall Street crashed. They really were betting upon this false narrative that Jay Powell was going to say, hi, I'm done with interest rate spikes in September. No, he's not going to leave inflation at 8%. He's never going to do it. It's a violation of their charter agreement. They got to get inflation under control. That's 2%. How long does it take to get from 8.5 to 2%? A while, several months. And Wall Street crashed because they said good times are here to stay. Go buy some stocks. Inflation and Jay Powell's all done. They're stomping with that in September. And then Jay Powell spoke. But you didn't have to wait for Jay Powell to speak. You just watched this channel. You could have just listened to Michelle Bowman, Fed Governor, Boulard, and Daley. They all told you what they're going to do. And this is a big trouble with a capital T. Stock market crash, it's not stopping. Bitcoin and Ethereum and all the crypto lower than the levels we've ever seen in this channel in a long time? Yes. Decentraland under $1? Yes. It's big problems. Big problems. I care about you, and that's why you have to get these big checks right now while they're available. In the big second half, we're going to go over all these incredible checks one at a time. Go into the video, become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. Be a member on any of these channels, LA1, LA2, then get the membership newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, via the YouTube alerts. And the second half of this video, we're going to go over all these incredible checks one at a time. From A to M, I'm going to go over each of these incredible checks with you to make sure you understand how to get them. And then we're going to meet a new character, new cast of characters on this channel. They're humor characters. Their names are Mubba and Bubba. No, it's Mubba and Mubba and Wubba. Mubba and Wubba. Mubba is the wife and Wubba is the husband. We're going to go over what they did with forced stimulus. It's just hysterical. We need a little humor, and you're going to love what they did, and you're not going to do what they did. You're going to become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. And the big second half, we're going to go over all your incredible money. It's a great morning from the shores of California. It's from the shores of Santa Monica, California. See you back in 60 seconds for a beautiful broadcast as the excitement continues. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. They're Facebook,
Twitter and Instagram individuals, reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
And the excitement continues on a beautiful second half from the shores of Santa Monica, California. For an August 28, 2022, 4 stimulus is in every U.S. state. And not with just one check, but 12 categories of checks that yield about $100,000 to $200,000. It's incredible. We're going to go over all these incredible sums of money. Did you become a member during the commercial break? Hope you did. And we're going to go over all these incredible sums starting right now. Check A is a $6,500 to $12,000  4 stimulus check in every U.S. state. That incredible check is for single individuals, $75,000 less. Married couple, $150,000 less. And you want to get these incredible sums of money. How do you get it? You become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. Go into the video and join the channel and get those incredible sums of money. And we're not done there yet, because you're going to go get check B as well. Oh my goodness. The incredible check B is the one that you were out of Florida got. Spelly got check A, but she got check B. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get it. And yes, for some people it is up to $80,000, but she likely got more than $80,000 because she got nearly 80 checks. How do you get check B? You go into the video, become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP, where it says join the channel, and get these incredible checks. And it is just huge. Look at that incredible check B. Well, if you add up check B, that's $80,000. Check A, that's $12,000. That's $100,000. Oh my goodness, that was quick, but we're not done there yet. You're going to go get check C. Check C is a whopping $45,000 on average, but some viewers getting even more. It is for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and more. How do you get a wonderful check C? You go under the video and subscribe. Become a member, and then go down to check C in the Credible newsletter. It tells you who to call, what to say, and how to say it. There'll be over 12 places to reach out for check C. If you have on average 5 bills a month, well, the average view of this channel is getting 14 months of 5 bills a month. Yeah, that is a lot of money. Check C predates second stimulus, predates third stimulus. We've been getting this on Shell since December 2020. Here's some success stories, just some of them. From Nisi all the way to Elizabeth, oh my goodness, that's $30,000 for check C. Go get it. Utilities. You want this? Go get some check C. Mark's brother-in-law got $15,000. If you want more money, oh boy, snap. His same brother-in-law is getting $250,000 over 10 years. Combinations. You want to get rent. You want to get mortgage. You want to get utilities. You want to get lots of different items. Nisi was at $23,000. She went to $50,000. Mark was at $32,000. Then he went to $166,000. He was this graphic, $32,000. Then he went to $50,000. Then he went to $100,000. Then he got check B at $166,000. Here's Lorraine. She was at $105,000, and then she went to $155,000. Congratulations to Lorraine, and she also celebrated her birthday this week. What is the similarity of these viewers? First, they keep on getting money. They get money this week. They get money the week after. They keep on going back and getting money. Number two, they're in all the live chats. As soon as I announced the new checks last Sunday in a special primetime broadcast and at a usual time, they were in there because you want to pounce. First come, first serve. First come, first serve, as I showed the volleyball serving, before the money evaporates. You want to get the money immediately across the board. And what were those checks last Sunday? Checks E through K. Immediately went to the membership newsletter the following day. This week, I also found for you checks L and M. Needle and haystack? Absolutely. I care about you. And that's why I'm looking for checks for you on a regular basis. You want to be a member, stay a member. And with that, let's go over to those incredible checks, E through K, and then L through M. Let's look at E through K that became law by Congress last weekend. E, $7,500. F, $4,000. G, 30% off. K, H, $2,000. I, whopping $8,000. J, $8,000. K, $14,000. My goodness, incredible. Then at the end of last week, less than 7 days thereafter, I got you more categories. L like lots and M like money. Wow. L is one category check, and so is M, but M has lots of individual checks in there. L is $100,000 on average of loan interest-free money for the purchase of a home. That's incredible. And then M is $4,000 of grants. That's your money to keep. Closing cost assistance for the purchase of a home. Just huge. To recap, that is 12 categories of checks, about 100 to 200 checks in there, and about $100 to $200,000. Insane. You deserve these big sums of money. You're not going to see these checks anywhere else. No one cares about you anywhere else. No one does the research anywhere else. That's why this is the number 3 most watched financial news channel in America, heading to number 2. 3 channels in this broadcasting family. Subscribe to LATE 1, subscribe to LATE 2, subscribe to LATE 3. Become a member as many channels as you can. And congratulations to the viewers who became new members on 2 channels. We have yet to see a triple channel member, but maybe it'll happen this week. Also, make sure you have your alerts set to all on. Hit that bell at the front of all the channels so you get alert when a new video becomes law. And with that, let's meet a new cast member, actually 2 new cast members. Their names are Mubba, the wife, and Wubba, the husband. Wubba and Mubba. Oh boy, nice to meet you. Well, really not. Let's see what Wubba, the husband, started with. Wubba was on the live chat over the last few days, and he posted that there's no money in Kentucky. Oh boy, that's trouble. He could be thrown off the channel. Then he posted that whatever happened to CR for stimulus? Catch up, Wubba. Whatever happened to FPUC retro? Oh, Wubba, you are in trouble. You're 2 years late. Whatever happened to the EIDL grant? You need to catch up. And then he wrote, Joe Biden is not my president. Banned. Bye. Nice knowing you, Wubba. Well, what did Wubba do after he was banned? He came back and he became a member to LATE 1. Why? You've been banned for the channel. Well, he became a member thinking that he could find these incredible checks. And then what happened? He never got a newsletter because he's banned from the channel. Once you're banned from the channel, you get no member benefits. What did he then do? He never got the alert of a newsletter because you don't get alerts as a member because once you're banned, you get nothing from the channel. So he went over to LALATE.com, totally different, and signed up for the LALATE.com website alerts, totally different. And he went in and he said, oh, I'm in good shape. I'm going to get an LALATE.com alert. And then he saw the LALATE.com alert at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. It says, the YouTube member newsletter has now been sent out. Oh, I'm in great shape. He saw it. And then he clicks on it and it sends him to a monkey. A monkey. What is that? A monkey means you've been banned for the channel. Oh, yeah. So then about 3 days ago, this is me, LALATE. I'm going to tell you this. About 3 days ago, I thought, wait a second. Now this broadcasting family has members on LATE 1, members on LATE 2, and members on LATE 3. So when the LALATE alert, when the LALATE.com alert from the website, LALATE.com, is sent out, it didn't make sense for the LALATE.com alert to say, click this to go into the YouTube alert. Because I don't know if you're a member of Channel 2, or Channel 3. I don't want to send a member to Channel 3 into something for LATE 1 because they're not a member of LATE 1. They're a member of LATE 3. So what did I do? Make it very simple. I removed the clickability, even the entire way it's written, of the LALATE.com alert. The LALATE.com alert. To make it very simple, it says, hi, LALATE.com alert readers. The YouTube alert for members has been sent out. Go read it. Very simple. It doesn't have a link. You don't click it. You don't click it. It doesn't send you anything. It just says, hi, go read your LALATE.com alert, because I don't know if you're a member of Channel 1, Channel 2, or Channel 3. Pretty simple. So what did Wubba do? He's pressing it, doesn't go anywhere. He tries to send a message, says it doesn't work. Now, guess what? I can't send messages to anyone like a Wubba because he's not a member. He's a banned person. And so if you're a member in good standing, you're getting the alerts from me that says, if you have a question about the newsletter, send me that question as a member to facebook.com/LA News. The only problem is Wubba doesn't get that message because he's been banned. What happens thereafter? Wubba then does something that I don't allow. Wubba then goes looking to find a way to contact LALATE in a way that's not allowed on this channel. For example, he goes to the website, LALATE.com, starts looking for news editors, contact them, sends an email to LALATE.com's news site. Hey, I clicked on the LALATE.com thing. It doesn't say, yeah, you're just violating, just not listening. Meantime, his wife, Mubba, comes over, says, honey, I've been trying to get you to take out the garbage for 2 days. I keep on telling you to take out the garbage. Are you listening? We now have 2 bags of garbage because you haven't taken out the garbage. I will get to it, he says to his wife, Mubba. I will get to the garbage. So what does he do? He sends an email. Of course, no one reads it. He sends an email after he came to the website, says Joe Biden's not your president. He went to look for the alert, and he did not listen to the channel. Let's pull up the graphic again. The channel makes it very, very clear that the newsletter is sent via the YouTube alerts, YT, via the YouTube alerts, not via the LALATE.com alerts. He didn't listen to that. 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Wubba and Mubba live in New York, and that's not Pacific Standard Time. He knew that, but he didn't listen to that as well. And at 7 o'clock Pacific, at 4 o'clock East, let me say this right, at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, where he's in New York, he went to look for stuff. And he was not getting anything at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time because that's not Pacific Standard Time. At that point, his wife comes over and says, honey, you're still not taking out the garbage. You're not listening to me. Well, Wubba doesn't listen to anyone. He doesn't listen to anyone. He doesn't see the time zone. He doesn't see the YouTube alerts. He doesn't see the message that says don't send emails. He doesn't see anything, Wubba. And Mubba's getting really upset with him. So Mubba walks up to Wubba right eye to eye and says, honey, it's the 4th day. I said, take out the garbage, dear. Take out the garbage. We now have 4 bags of garbage. Take out the garbage. Does Wubba finally take out the garbage? He does. He takes out the garbage, and I think he should throw himself away as well. You know, ultimately, if someone doesn't listen to anything over and over and over again, they're not going to get anywhere. And then ultimately, I'm not here for people who can't listen to something very, very basic. Doesn't listen to anything, just sort of is a vacuum of not listening to anything. I don't know if it's earwax or whether the music's on in the background or whether the lobster shorts are too tight, but something's going on. Meantime, the other story I want to cover just briefly today, and I'll go over more about it on afternoons, is recession. Recession. A recession is defined 2 negative quarters of GDP growth. 2 negative quarters of GDP growth. There's only one definition of recession, and ultimately it's not dependent on inflation. It's not dependent on anything else. It is a recession. 2 negative quarters of GDP growth. What has the White House done, and what have other economists done? They have come out and say that there's no recession. And to tell you there's no recession, I'm going to use one data point. That's them talking, not me. What data point do they use? The unemployment rate. You don't get to do that. You don't get to take a economic term like recession, which we are in, 2 negative quarters of GDP growth, and say it's not happening because I'm going to use one data point to invalidate it. Guess what? You don't get to do that. Because I can show a lot of data points that do indicate a recession. Negative GDP growth over 2 quarters, consecutive bad quarters of housing, causing the National Association of Home Builders to say we're in a housing recession, unemployment claims of 200,000, 250, 240, 260. Also, the flat CPI, the flat PPI, the Personal Consumption Expenditure Index, also earnings recession with quarters being projected downward, missing left and right. Second quarter reporting this week and last week. And then companies downward guiding for the whole rest of this year, saying they're getting hit really badly by this economy. You don't get to take one data point the unemployment rate and say there's no recession. That's pure ridiculousness. Ultimately, what I do on this channel is I give you the data. We don't lead with the analysis, we lead with the data. Ultimately, if you see the data, you can understand what's going on. And for someone that says there's no recession, they're not going with the data. Who else isn't doing that as well? Wall Street. This last 2 weeks, I said it's going to crash. I said the stocks are going to crash. I said the Dow Jones are going to crash. What do they say? Good times are here to stay, because all the rallies starting in the month of June are going to continue across the board. Bitcoin has found a resistance of 23,000. Ethereum has found a resistance of 1,500. I said, no, we're going to crash, because all of you do not hear when the Fed governors say consistent interest rate spikes until we get to 2%, that inflationary rate. And that they're going to start doing it back in September. They're not going to get it to 2% in 1 month. They're going to continue to do it potentially into 2023. Stocks are going to crash because you not embed that risk. It's exactly the same situation, just different people not looking and not hearing the data in front of them. Ultimately, I lead with data, and I also want you to understand, evenings, LALATE heats up tonight at 5 o'clock, afternoons at 3 o'clock, a brand new show. But guess what's going to happen? In 2 minutes from now, Morning's Countdown will be airing at a special time. Also, then at 11 a.m. is Home. So this video will automatically take you into Home, which starts at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. But Morning's Countdown will air at a special time within just a few minutes. So you got 2 shows in the next hour for you to see, and then a brand new afternoon's show at 3 o'clock. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, God bless. Stay informed, stay focused, get as much money as you can, lead with the data, and that ultimately we can make the analysis ourselves. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, God bless. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.